Hi everyone. I wanted to dedicate one video to Section 13 of the Copyright Act, which tells what can be the subject matter of copyright protection. It tells, as the language goes, works in which copyright subsists. So this particular section has 5 clauses, and the first one tells you the works in which copyright subsists, and the remaining 4 put some condition in order for this work to qualify for protection. So section 13 clause 1 tells us that what are the works that are eligible for protection. Then the question arises, what is work? There is a definition given under the Act in section 2Y, which tells us that work is any literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic work, a cinematograph film, a sound recording. As we have discussed in other videos, also, it is like LDMA, CFSR for our convenience. All of this is work. Whatever you produce in this category will amount to work, which is worthy of protection under section 13. Then another thing is, as you know, copyright is a territorial protection, so this is a protection available throughout India. Now, if we pay attention, subclause A tells us that the work should be original. So there is a qualifying criteria that we have mentioned: original, literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic work. So for LDMA, we mentioned that the work should be original, and for all these LDMA, we have a separate definition given in section 2. So we can look at it like literary work is defined under subclause O, that is, it includes computer programs, tables, and compilations, including computer databases. Next, we have dramatic work, which is given under subclause H, which provides that it includes. Whenever we say it includes, it means we are giving an open understanding, like whatever is mentioned explicitly here is included, but it could be beyond that also and depends upon case to case interpretation. So dramatic work includes any piece of recitation, choreographic work, or entertainment in dumb show, the scenic arrangement or acting form of which is fixed in writing or otherwise, but does not include a cinematograph film. So clearly we have just taken out CF out of this because it is covered under another clause. Another thing you have to consider is that dramatic work has to be fixed. We'll look at this differently, like all these works are a separate class of subject of discussion, but right now we are trying to go very briefly over what all is covered. Next, there is musical work that is provided under subclause P, which says it means a work consisting of music and includes any graphical notation of such work, but does not include any work or any action intended to be sung, spoken, or performed with the music. So our general understanding of what a musical work would be that someone is singing a song, but mind it is not what is protected under musical work, because that is covered under sound recording. So it is just what we understand to be as music. Again, you see the use of the word includes. That means it is an open interpretation that graphical notations are included, like you have seen how music stave, if you are aware of, that's graphical notation of the work which is protected. And next we have artistic work, which is under subclause C, and it is a very exhaustive definition because it clearly says it means, and it is not using the word include here. So I'm sorry. Yeah. So artistic work means a painting, sculpture, drawing, including a diagram, map, chart, or plan, an engraving, or a photograph is included here. So you know how technology expanded, and this could be another topic of discussion, like how copyright protection started to be given to photograph, which was earlier considered to be a mere mechanical task, whether or not any such work possesses artistic quality. So one thing that you need to consider is that artistic work does not necessarily need to have artistic quality, which is new, right? So what is the qualification that we are seeing for artistic work is that it does not have to have artistic quality, but it has to be original. Next, it says a work of architecture, that I'll be further referring to as WAO. Work of architecture is also included, and we'll see what WOA entails. And then it is any other work of artistic craftsmanship. So this elaborates the meaning of what artistic work could include, right? So next we have commercial films, which are again defined under section 2F, that is means any work of visual recording and includes a sound recording accompanying such visual recording and cinematograph shall be construed as including any work produced by any process analogous to cinematography, including video film. So we are understanding कि कोई भी video, if we have any video that we are playing, or that video is alongside a music sound recording, that is some music is playing on, then it is a CF, right? Then we have sound recording, which is given to us under section 2XX. It provides that it is a recording of sounds from which such sounds may be produced regardless of the medium on which such recording is made or the method by which the sounds are produced, right? We'll go into the detail of the complexity of the language that they have used here, but getting back, one thing you need to understand again is that in section 13 we see that the word original is only used with reference to LDMA and not with reference to CFSR, because they are derivative works. Derivative works are based on original works like LDMA. Okay, so we see this could be the subject matter of section 13, but going forward we see section 13 clause 2 put some condition on which copyright can subsist. So first condition we see is that copyright in above work does not subsist unless following conditions are met. And first is that if it is a published work, then the publication should be first done in India. Now what does publication mean? It is given in section 3 of the Act. Just a moment. Yes, it is given in section 3 of the Act, which means for the purposes of this Act, publication means making a work available to the public by issue of copies or by communicating the work to the public. So you have put the work before the public, and if it is a published work and you want copyright in it, it should be first published in India. Or if it is published outside India, then at least the author should be Indian. Or if the author is dead, this is the third condition we have with respect to published work. If the author is dead, then at the time of his death, the person should be Indian citizen. So what is the qualification? Like if it is a person A is Indian and he wants to get a work registered in India, he can publish it anywhere outside or Indian, it will get protection in India. But if A is a foreign national, like he is French, if he wants protection in India, he should get the work first published in India to get protection here, right? Next is the qualification that deals with unpublished work. That is, it is not put before the public yet. It is something that the author has kept with himself, right? And one thing that you should understand here is who is an author. The definition is given in section 2 clause D. Author means, so the definition of author changes with respect to the work that we are considering. Work is, as we have discussed in LDMA, CFSR, right? So when we are talking about literary or dramatic work, the author of the work is whoever is written, right? In relation to musical work, it is the composer. In relation to artistic work, it's other than a photograph, it's the artist. So yeah, we have taken out the photograph. So whoever is artist is the author of artistic work. If it is a photograph, then the person who is taking the photograph, does not matter who owns the device, right? Like if you borrow my phone and click a photograph, you are the person taking photograph and you have copyright. In relation to cinematograph, film, or the sound recording, the producer is the author of the work, because he is the one who has invested large amount of money into getting that work through. In relation to LDMA, which is computer generated, the person who causes the work to be created. So we can see that this definition provides how Indian Copyright Act is way ahead of its time, right? Like the amendments have made it very consistent, and we can proudly say that very smartly drafted at this moment as per the needs. So with reference to Gen AI work that we are considering, like Gen AI generated work, we can include that definition here. So whoever is, for example, if you're using ChatGPT to create certain art or certain write-up, so you can very well include it under this definition to mean that it is a computer generated work wherein you are the person who has given the command for the work, and so you are the author in that work. Coming back, so we were dealing with unpublished works. So unpublished works definition clearly excludes work of architecture, and so if it is an unpublished work, author is citizen or domiciled in India at time of creation, right? So in order to get a so why it is important to bifurcate between published and unpublished work is because the protection level varies, and the time from which the protection starts also varies, that we'll discuss. So in case it is an unpublished work, the author should be a citizen, or he should be domiciled in India at time of creation. Domicile means since he's staying in India for a long time, right? And the third qualification is for work of architecture, it should be located in India, no ifs and buts. Architecture only means the designs and aesthetic features that are present, and it is not the process of constructing it. So the way you have constructed something is not protected. And in case of joint ownership, all authors should fulfill the above condition. So what is joint ownership? When the same work is owned by more than one person, it is defined under 2Z, which mentions a work produced by the collaboration of two or more authors in which the contribution of one author is not distinct. So what is, like, if two people are working on a work, you cannot say this work is done by A and this is done by B. It is so closely interlinked that both of them have collaborated and contributed towards the end work. And that's it about 13.2. Next we have 13.3, which says that copyright does not subsist. Specifically, this clause deals with CFSR, which are, we have discussed, derivative works. So it says that in this derivative work, no copyright will subsist if in the case of a cinematograph film, a substantial part of film infringes copyright of another, right? Like you are creating a video out of this video, so this video will get protection as CF, right? And if you are creating a similar video, similar everything layout, or you have just copy pasted the entire video and you have just changed the voiceover on it, so it's a substantial infringement and you will not get protection. Next is sound recording. In sound recording, we notice that it is a derivative work which is coming out of literary, dramatic or musical work, and if the person who's creating the sound recording has infringed upon the copyright of these underlying works, the original works, then a copyright cannot be given to the sound recording. So if you are creating a song out of someone's, Javed Akhtar's lyrics, and you have not taken his permission, you have not taken a license from him to use it for your sound, then your copyright will not subsist. We again say in 13.4 that copyright in cinematographic films or SR is independent of underlying work. So if you are covering, if you are making a movie out of a novel, like Two States, if you are making out of a novel, the copyright with Chetan Bhagat for novel is separately there, right? And then the person who wants to create Two States at the film, the producer who is the author, has to take license from Chetan Bhagat and give him royalty in exchange, and he has the copyright over the movie that is created, right? Next is that in case of work of architecture, as we have seen above, clause 5 of section 13 deals with it. It is only for artistic character and design, right? So section 13.5 tells us that the protection in a work of architecture only subsists in artistic character and design and shall not extend to processes or methods of construction. So example, there is an iconic building design in a city, like Burj Khalifa. Just imagine if somebody creates a very iconic design in Delhi. That person has copyright over that design, and no other person can make an exact replica of that thing anywhere else. He has to take permission. Another example is artistic facade on commercial buildings, like it has used special pattern of bricks, then nobody else can copy that without permission, right? Copyright has been taken. So whenever there is this artistic character design or aesthetic feature that we are talking about, a work of architecture, it is present. So what about your home? Like here we have seen using the word commercial. So what about your home? If you've designed your home in a very artistic manner, you have used some very beautiful flowers for engraving purposes on the wall outside, will you have copyright over it? You definitely will. So we'll discuss all of these works in detail as we progress through this series. Thank you.